Let's start now. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to introduce you about PMP and about our full course that is starting from 7th of February, inshallah. This is going to be the fee, discounted fee for the individuals and for the groups of 3 or 5 plus. I will explain it again later. My introduction, my name is Abu Bakar Ehsan. I have done bachelor's in computer science and master's in information technology. And I have done few certifications related to project management from PMI, PMP for which we are here today. RMP is a specialization, risk management professional. After you do PMP, you have different options available to specialize in. So RMP and ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner, that is also an option. I have done these three from PMI. Plus Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt certified. Green Belt and Black Belt Six Sigma, this is related to quality, business processes, improvement, perfection rates. So these are few certifications that I have done. Currently, I'm working as a consultant and more than 25 years of working and project management experience with more than 200 PMP workshops I have conducted with more than 14,000 engineers and managers just like you. My email address and my WhatsApp number is given here. This is going to be the schedule of the full course, inshallah. It will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting from 7th of Feb. Just in the last 1 week, there is one slight change. It was supposed to be on Sunday, 23rd of Feb, but 23rd of Feb, there is a match between Pakistan and India, so no one will come to me to attend my class on that day. So that's why I have changed it to Thursday. So just one small change that instead of Sunday, I've changed it to Thursday. Some of my recent sessions I have conducted online. Uh, Before COVID, I was conducting offline classes also in the hotels, in the institutes, but now I am only conducting online on Zoom. So this was my last session that I did in September, then last year in December, and previous to last year, and last year it was in May and June. So generally, I conduct sessions after 3 to 4 months. This is when I was conducting offline physical classes. This was in Riyadh. This was KFUPM, the MAM in Tehran, in fact. This is STC Riyadh. This is National Petroleum Yambo. This is KFCA, King Fahd Causeway Authority, the bridge between Khobar and Bahrain. So this is the information, basic information that who can do PMP, right? Who can do PMP? So PMP, we have two prerequisites. Number one is the experience requirement, and number two is the training requirement. Without these two, you cannot attend. You cannot apply for the exam, right? If you have 4 years degree, so now there are two scenarios here. If you have 4 years bachelor's degree, in that case, you need 3 years of projects related experience to apply for exam. In case you are a diploma holder or you have a bachelor's degree that is of 3 years, in that case, you need minimum 5 years of projects related experience in order to apply for the exam. In case you are a masters, you are PhD, double masters. In that case, you will fall in this category, 4 years degree or above. Second requirement is this training requirement. If you attend my full course of PMP or any PMP training from any other institute, they will issue you a certificate of attendance. That certificate is called as 35 PDUs or 35 contact hours. So that will fulfill your second requirement. So experience you are supposed to have already, this one. Training requirement, we will give you the certificate. After that, you can apply for the exam. Now, on this slide, on these 2 points, if there is any question or confusion in your minds, please feel free to ask, but one by one. Yes, please. Anyone having any confusion on this slide, please?
सर मैं एमएस प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट कर रहा हूं, तो उसमें मुझे ये क्या चीज़ का इसका बेनिफिट मिलेगा पीएमपी करने के लिए?
आप कर रहे हैं कि या नहीं है, ठीक है।
जी,
तो
एक
अगर
सेमेस्टर
आप
हो गया, सेकंड
हाँ, तो
सेमेस्टर
सो
स्टार्ट
दैट्स
होना
इट।
है।
सो एज I mentioned already, regardless you are masters, you have 4 years degree, you have PhD. In all cases, you need 3 years of working experience. Is it clear?
जी, ठीक हो गया। और ये एमएस प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट की डिग्री मुझे ये ट्रेनिंग के पीडीयू देगी या नहीं देगी?
वो देगी, वो देगी, but still, maybe in your masters, PMP exam related information is not discussed in the way you are supposed to learn in the training. So, yes, for the sake of exam, you can still apply on the basis of courses attended in your Masters of Project Management, but still, for the sake of learning for the exam and preparation for the exam, you may still need PMP training. Is it clear now?
जी, थैंक्स।
Right. Any other question from anyone, please?
सर आपने अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में बताया था लीन सिक्स सिग्मा, आपने वो किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से किया?
There are many organizations, right? There are many organizations I have done from AQCI, some name like that, maybe 10 years ago. But if you compare with PMP, for PMP, there is only one organization in the world. But Six Sigma is done by, offered by, given by maybe more than 20 organizations in the world. So I
तो
did
सर
with
सब
AQCI.
सर सबसे जो रेलिवेंट अगर करंट सिनेरियो में, करंट टाइम में, तो वो किससे करना चाहिए, कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से?
See, I'm not an authority on that,
ओके, थैंक यू।
right? That is not my major field, number one. Number two, as I told you that there are many organizations offering that. The most strong or popular is American bodies, right?
यस
So if you find American bodies, that is more valuable, but that is more tougher or difficult also. But it's up to you. Yes, please. Any other
ओके,
question
थैंक यू।
related to this slide, please? No
Yes,
dime
I have
buying
a
questions,
question.
please. Yes, please.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Sir, here
I
you
have
One
a
by
asked
one by
three.
one, one by one,
Yes,
one by one.
sir, here you asked the experience 3 plus years or 5 plus years. So how can we prove this one the experience? They then required any experience certificate?
Yeah, yeah. That is required. I will explain it on the next slide. Yes,
Okay.
please. Another person was asking a question.
yeah, I have a question. I have two questions. Number one, I have a degree, a BSc 2 years and MSc 2 years. So it will count as a 4-year degree?
Yeah, it will count as
Okay,
4 years
this
degree.
okay. Second question is there any degree requirement that degree must be in science or engineering, or it can be any
No,
degree,
it could be any
BA,
degree. Any degree.
theology? Okay, got it.
Any other question from anyone?
Yes, sir. I have 4 years BS in computer sciences, like 1 years back, and before that, I have 5 years experience. It would be acceptable.
Hmm. Okay. In that case, let me explain it again. You need 3 years experience after your degree. Got it?
Okay.
You have experience before your degree, in that case you will not be considered as this category. In fact, you will fall in this category. Now, assuming you have metric, FSC, inter, A levels, any other certificate or degree, you have 5 years experience, so you are allowed to give the exam. Regardless, after that you completed your 4 years, or even if you did not complete your 4 years. In both case, you will fall in this category of diploma holders. Is it clear?
Okay, like if we have 5 years of experience in any field and we have certificates of these
In
5 years,
any field, in
any field.
any industry, but related to projects.
Mhm.
That
Okay.
is a mandatory requirement.
Project length is considerable. Small project, long project, something.
Small projects, 3 months acceptable, no issue.
Mhm. Okay.
But remember, you have to mention all these projects in your application. So even if you have 3 months long projects, so that means you will have to mention how many? 5 into 4, 20 projects, right?
Mhm.
So although
Okay.
acceptable, but your application will become more complicated. So yes, some project of 1 year, some project of 6 months, some project of 18 months, that is acceptable. No issue on that.
Mhm. Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question from anyone?
Yes, sir. I have only one question.
Yeah.
In the previous slide, you are showing like a PMP risk assessment. After there is a PMP another. There is any different kind of a category? If you don't make, can you show me again the previous slide? Yes.
This one.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
That I was showing the certifications I have already done, right?
Okay.
For
Sorry.
you, for you,
Yeah.
you are focusing on PMP right now.
Okay.
After that, in future,
Uh,
if you feel you can consider RMP also, that is also very valuable. You can consider ACP if you are from software development field.
mm,
Otherwise, maybe for you, PMI SP could be a very good certification if you are from planning field.
mm,
Or these days, another certification, recently they have introduced PMI CP, construction professional,
okay.
right? But that is on right now only maybe 20% from Saudi Arabia. Whole kingdom, only 20% have done that.
Okay.
CP, very new.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
no
I
problem.
have I have one question. Each need 35 PDU or one can help other, or
No,
this
every
category.
every certification has different requirement. For example, PMP has 35 PDUs,
Mm,
RMP has 30 PDUs, ACP has 23 PDUs, but related training, right? Certification is project management, then project management related training. If the certification is risk management, then the risk related training. If the
okay. Thank you.
certification is agile related, then agile related training. So
Oh,
respective specialization related training that is required. I just conducted last month RMP. So I conduct RMP also, I conduct ACP also, Microsoft project also, Primavera also. Okay, any other question on this slide, please? Any confusion so far?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
सर आई एम फजल महमूद. तो सर मेरा जो पास एक्सपीरियंस है ना वो 7+ ईयर एक्सपीरियंस है सप्लाई चेन में. तो आई एम एलिजिबल फॉर दिस पीएमपी.
देखें, प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं तो एलिजिबल
एमएस
हैं,
प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट भी मैंने
ऑपरेशंस
किया हुआ है.
वो ठीक है, वो उससे आपकी ये ट्रेनिंग रिक्वायरमेंट तो फिर फुलफिल हो जाएगी। एक्सपीरियंस रिलेटेड रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी नहीं होगी। अगर आपने टोटली ऑपरेशंस में ही काम किया है, फिर नहीं। प्रोजेक्ट्स आपको मेंशन करने ही करने हैं, लाजमी।
तो वो डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स पे मैं काम करता रहा हूँ सप्लाई
जितने
चेन में
मतलब
ही.
डिफरेंट, हाँ ठीक है, हाँ, ठीक है, जिस मर्जी इंडस्ट्री में, ठीक है। चाहे
टेलीकॉम सेक्टर
आप
में.
ड्रग्स बेचते थे, कुछ भी करते थे, ठीक है, प्रोजेक्ट्स होना जरूरी है। दैट्स इट फ्रॉम एनी इंडस्ट्री। Okay, I
ठीक हो गया,
believe
थैंक यू।
there is no other question on that. So, training requirement, you attend from us, you attend from anyone else, you have done my MS project management. Still, for the sake of exam application, it is acceptable, but you will not be able to prepare for the exam. Even many of my students, they attend the PMP training from me again after a few years. Reason? Maybe they attended 5 years ago, 10 years ago. For the sake of exam application, their previous 10 years old certificate is still valid. There is no issue in that. But knowledge wise, knowledge refresher, plus there are so many changes after every few years. So that's why they have to do the training again. But for the sake of exam application, yes, that is acceptable. Okay. So this experience requirement is one more point here I have mentioned, has to be in the last 8 years. For example, someone has an experience of 25 years. For example, I have experience of 25 years. I started working in January 2000 and I am a graduate with 16 years degree. I need to mention 3 years. Remember, you have to apply directly without my involvement. In future, after this training, after 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, you have to go directly to pmi.org, Project Management Institute, and on this website you have to make your profile, make your application. So when you are submitting your application, you are not supposed to enter 100% of your experience. For example, I mentioned I have 25 years of experience. So if I am 25 years experience on the website for the PMP exam application, I need to select only 3 years of my choice, but only within latest 8 years. That means, let's say I'm applying for the exam in March 2025. I cannot enter a project of 2004. Although I am experienced, I had experience, I did projects in 2004, but I cannot enter. 2015, no. I can only enter between March 2017 up till March 2025 of my choice. Maybe I did 10 projects in that. My choice, which projects I want to mention, which companies I want to mention. It could be in same project, same company. It could be single project. It could be multiple projects. It could be same companies, same country, multiple countries. For example, I mentioned one project from January 2018 up till June 2019, 18 months. Second project I mentioned from January 2023 to June 2023. So now total how many? 24 months. I need another 12 months. So I can choose any 36 months of my choice. Any question or confusion on that, please? Clear for everyone? Any confusion?
और एक चीज का ये कंफ्यूजन है कि जॉब्स के लिए अक्सर पीएमपी को जो है प्रेफर किया जाता है, तो और पीएमपी एग्जाम देने के लिए आपको प्रोजेक्ट चाहिए, तो ये चीजें आपस में इंटरडिक्ट नहीं करती?
No, actually, it's a good question. That when I say you must be experienced or you must have experience related to projects, that does not mean you are a project manager or you were a project manager. Maybe you were working as a quantity surveyor, document controller, maybe a part of team, maybe a team leader. So it's not necessary that your title was a project manager, right? Is it okay now?
जी सर।
And
Sir, I have a question.
yeah,
You're saying that the work experience can be any type. You don't have to be a project manager.
right.
So in my case, like suppose I want to take a training from you in February, and I have 2 years of working experience in a project itself, but it's just 2 years. It's not 3 years. And earlier than that, I have experience
How many years?
for 2 years, but that's earlier than 8 years. It's falling earlier than 8 years.
No,
It's not falling
you
within.
need overall 5 years in the last 8 years. The best thing could be that you start the preparation after the training. Easily people take few months, 6 months, 3 months, 12 months. So you can follow this thing that start the training, start the preparation, and the next 1 year complete, be ready. And the moment your experience is complete, immediately apply for the exam and give the exam. This could be one option. Second
So,
option
sir,
is that there is a junior version of PMP certification that is
okay.
called as CAPM. Maybe some of you may need this, or maybe you can tell some of your colleagues, some of your family members who do not have 3 years of working experience. But you feel that this knowledge could be valuable for them in their fields. So anyone with 1 year experience, 2 years experience, fresh graduate, he can apply for CAPM Certified Associate in Project Management. That is also from PMI, same body, same book, same terminology, same concepts, but the exam will be much easier. So
Okay,
knowledge
sir.
wise, even the fresh graduates can go for that. Yes, please continue with your question.
Because I'm currently doing project management certification with Google that is offered by Google at Coursera.
Right.
So, how is that different from what you are giving us?
See, there is a big difference in the value or popularity of PMP versus any other certification related to project management, right?
Okay.
I make it easy for you. You search maybe different job ads of related to project management
Mm-hmm.
and just see maybe in 100, 200 advertisements, how many advertisements are asking for PMP and how many are asking for Google certification? You will get your answer, right?
Okay. So, yeah, but I want to know what's the difference, like,
I have not
because
done
I
that.
do
I have not
understand.
done that. I cannot tell the difference.
So PMP, the professional certificate, because the one offered by Google is just a project management certificate. It's not
Right.
PMP.
See, PMP is offered only by, this is what I just mentioned. Six Sigma
Yeah,
is offered by dozens of organizations.
yeah.
ISO is offered by dozens of certificate governing bodies. PMP is offered only and only and only by PMI in the whole world. PMP is not offered by any other body. But project management related certifications, there could be dozens of other certifications with different names. But
Mhm.
PMP is not offered by any other company.
Okay, sir. So, my question right now is that suppose I go ahead and I take training from you, and I have 2 years of experience, probably I'll get another year of experience as well, and I have 3 years of experience
Right.
in a project itself. So I can just directly give the exam?
Directly give the exam in this way that you are ready already. You have done the preparation already, utilizing this 1 year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And immediately, when you have 3 years experience complete, immediately apply and give the exam, inshallah. This is what I was suggesting.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise,
Thank
some people, what they will do, they will say, okay, let me complete my 3 years. Then they will take the training.
Mm.
Then after that, they will spend another 3 to 6 months in the preparation, and then they will give the exam. So this is what I was suggesting, that you take benefit of this time.
So you're saying it takes 3 to 6 months of preparation
Yeah,
for the exam
yeah.
along with the training or just the
After the
preparation?
training, no, after the training. After the training, 3 to 6 months. But this is on average with your job. Some people, they have so much time available, they can do it in 1 to 2 months also. But I'm not giving you any false commitments that after the training you can do it in 2 weeks or 15 days. No, it is very deep certification. That's why it has a lot of value in the world. It needs effort, it needs time, it needs preparation. Right?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, please.
I have a question, a quick question.
Yeah.
Suppose if I'm going to submit my application to PMI and I'm going to mention 10 projects. So my question is how exactly PMI is going to verify that I was practically
I'm
involved in
coming
those
to that
projects?
point. I'm coming to that
Okay,
point. There is a slide
thank you.
on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question on this slide, please? Okay. So experience requirement and the training requirement. After that, you submit your application. Your application is approved. You pay your exam fee. You schedule your exam date. Then you give the exam. There is only one test, 230 minutes, 180 questions, objective type. There is no subjective question. No paragraphs to be written. Only multiple choice questions and similar to that. So after you pass, immediately you get your result. This is how you become PMP. Any quick question on this slide before I move forward?
How many questions to be correct to pass the exam?
There is no official statement on that, but roughly you can say 60 to 65%. Roughly, this is just a guess. There is no official wording on that.
So they do not declare 80% or
No,
60%, 70% like that?
no, they do not declare. Even they do not tell you result in the numbers.
Oh, this is something very unique.
Yeah, even there are two terms,
That means
qualitative.
they make their own evaluation.
Yes,
Okay, that's correct. Okay, got it.
qualitative assessment and quantitative assessment, right?
Okay.
So quantitative means numbers. If they are doing quantitative, see, at the back end, maybe they are doing quantitative, but they're not disclosing it. The result they are giving to you is not in terms of quantitative, means you do not get result like this that you scored 70% or 60% or 50%. No. They only give qualitative. Qualitative means ranking.
Okay.
Overall pass or fail, this is what they give to you immediately. Within few minutes you will get, a few seconds in fact. Plus, There are three domains in which they ask you questions.
People, process, and business.
And they have already disclosed or declared that we will ask you 8% questions from the business, 50% questions from the process, and 42% of the questions from people. And after you finish your exam, they give you the result that in these three domains, were you individually, domain by domain, above target or on target or below target. That's it. This is what result they give to you in printout. Is it
Got
clear?
it.
Okay.
Got it.
And as this is an important point, so I'm adding one more point as all of you are interested in the exam. This is one split of the question. Second split of the question is that 50% of the questions will be from traditional project management and 50% of the questions will be from agile project management. So at the same time, both percentages apply in the exam. Okay, now some of you were asking that how they will check the experience. So now I'm explaining that point. After you submit your application, 10% of the applications are selected randomly for the audit. If your application is not in the 10%, means you were not selected for the audit, khalas. Whatever right or wrong you have written in your application, I worked in NASA, I worked with Elon Musk, whatever you have written, they will trust it blindly. But if your application comes in the 10%, then you will receive an email from them that we have selected you for the audit. Please provide us the supporting evidence of the information you have written in your application. So first of all, you have mentioned that I have done bachelor's or master's or diploma. Upload the degree or transcript of that. You have mentioned I have worked in these 10, 3, 5 companies. Of those 36 months or 60 months that you have mentioned in your application, you have to upload the certificates of those companies, experience letters. Plus, contact information you have already entered in your application that I worked on these projects and this was my supervisor. They will contact those guys if your application comes in the audit. So make sure give the contact information of those managers you still have good relationships with. Right? Training certificate, whatever company you choose to get the training from me, from anyone else, whatever training attendance certificate you get, you are supposed to upload that. Any question or confusion on this audit process? Clear for everyone? No question?
Yeah, got
I
it.
have, I have only one question. You are
Yeah.
mentioning the experience letter. Upload copies of 3 to 5 year experience. It's mean it should be must working any one of the company continuously 3 year or else.
No, no,
Maybe I was.
no. See, maybe you worked in 10 different companies in these 3 years,
Mm,
right? So
yeah.
give the 10 experience letters.
Okay.
Some company of 6 months, some company of 18 months, some company of 3 months. So
Mm,
total of 3 years if you have 16-year education or total of 5 years if you have diploma. Clear?
mm, yeah. And the second question, maybe I upload the one certificate, maybe the 10 year before one of the company. Maybe that company is not available currently, cases means. So there is any issue.
See, number one, you must mention only those companies with which you have worked in the latest 8 years. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, you have the choice that in these 8 years, which 3 years you have to mention. So just
Hmm.
mention those selected clean 3 years experience with which you have the documents available, right?
Okay. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Any other question, please?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So my question is, this requirement is only for those applications selected for audit, means
Right,
10%.
right,
Thank you,
right.
thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I have a question. For example, anyone has experience of 3 years or 4 years, but within a same company, and he do multiple projects, but in the same company. So the just
No
same
problem.
one
One experience
experience.
letter. One experience
Yeah.
letter is enough. But description wise, multiple projects will be mentioned in the application.
Okay. Okay. So means the projects which he has performed within the 3 5 years, either they are
Right.
5 projects or one project, he has to mention.
He has to mention separately, even if they were done in the same company, same customer, same team.
Okay, noted.
Right?
Okay.
Sir, I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes,
For
please.
example, I would like to appear for the test in June. Can I submit my application right now to check either they pass me for the audit procedure or not? Or for example, if my I submit my application right now and they approved it, so they either they have a specific timeline in which I have to appear for the exam, or it is an open, so I can appear for the exam
Yes,
anytime.
you can apply right now, assuming you have the experience, assuming you have the contact hours, training experience, letter or training certificate. After that, your application is approved. You have 12 months to give the exam, right?
Okay, so
So
thanks.
within the next 12 months, you can choose dates of your choice. You are welcome. Any other question?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, please.
सर मैं तौकीर बात कर रहा हूँ। मैं किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में जॉब कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन जो अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट में ना, तो उसमें मेरे पास डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स, जो टीचरों के रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं, वो बिलिंग करता हूँ, उसका एक्सपीरियंस है। क्या वो एक्सपीरियंस काउंट होगा?
लेकिन जो आपने बताया है उसके मुताबिक तो नहीं होगा। ठीक है।
ठीक।
शॉर्ट आंसर तो ये है, बाकी डिटेल में आप मुझसे व्हाट्सएप पे डिस्कस कर लीजिए। शॉर्ट
चलिए
आंसर
ठीक
इज
है।
नो। ओके।
ठीक
एनी
है।
अदर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम एनीवन प्लीज? Okay. So it's a computer based exam. You have two options available. Either you can give the exam at some authorized test center, or you can give the exam from home also. But do not be happy that if you are giving exam from home, maybe you can do the cheating. No, there is nothing available. In fact, I will suggest strongly that never give the exam from home. It's too much disturbance because they will appoint a person who will continuously watch you on one-to-one basis. And in between, he may interrupt or disturb you multiple times by asking who is on the left side, who is there, show me from camera what's in on the back of your computer, anything like that. He can randomly disturb you anytime he likes. So I suggest always select a test center. In every major city, there are multiple test centers available. So this is a nice option available. You can book the exam anytime. There are no fixed dates available like this that after every 3 months there will be an exam. Either give it or miss it. No. It's just like an airline booking. Every week, multiple options are available. In fact, every day, multiple options are available. First come, first serve basis. You can book the exam, you can give the exam. Any question on that point?
Do we have a center in Jubail?
Uh, I believe so. Otherwise, in Dammam and Khubar, for sure there are centers, and in Bahrain also for sure there are centers. But I think in Jubail as well. But
Where we can get this?
when you apply for the exam, right?
Okay.
When you
Option.
apply for the exam, your application is approved. At that stage, you can check where are the exam centers around you or in some other cities. You can check that,
Okay, okay. Got
right?
it.
But on in Dammam, in Bahrain, in Khobar, for sure, 100% they are available. I think 80% I feel in Jubail also there is an exam center. Any other question, please?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Prometric center is eligible for attend the exam, correct?
Earlier it was Prometric Center, but now it is Pearson VUE, right?
Okay.
Okay, any other question?
Yes, just one quick question.
Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry,
वालेकुम
actually, I
सलाम
joined a bit
वालेकुम।
late. I
मैं
actually joined a bit
मैं
late.
मैं
So,
माफी चाहता हूँ कि आपने लेट ज्वाइन किया। जी
yeah, yeah, no, no,
पूछिए।
my sincere apologies on that.
Okay,
So I'm actually working in Ireland as a project manager in Dublin, and I have my roots from Pakistan.
right.
So, what would you recommend? Like, is it permissible for me to appear in the exam from the Pakistani center, or should I do it from Dublin?
You can you see, regardless of your original home country, you can apply from anywhere in the world. You can appear from anywhere in the world. You can take training from anywhere in the world. You can have experience in other countries. That does not matter. These are not related to each other, right? So there is no such requirement. You can apply from anywhere, no issues. But if you mention your billing address or your shipping address of Pakistan, there will be a discount, even if you give the exam from Ireland. Saving tip for you.
Thank you
Because
so much. Yeah, I was just confused on that because I just wanted clarity on it. And is it legally allowed for me? That
yeah,
can I
yes,
mention my
yes,
Pakistan's address and all that?
yes, no issue.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And this is for even people who are in Saudi Arabia also. If you give your, if you are from Pakistan, if you are from Lebanon, if you are from Yemen, I'm naming those countries which I know they do not have VAT, right? Even if you are working in Saudi Arabia, but if you give your home address of these countries where the VAT is not applicable, you will get 15% discount. The VAT will be saved, number one. Number two, some countries, I'm not sure Pakistan is still there or not, but up till few months ago it was there. Since 2021, Pakistan, I think they did not tell officially, but I think because of major floods in Pakistan, they were offering good discount to Pakistani applicants. Now, due to war, Lebanon and Yemen also there. So sometimes they give discounts to those countries who have some trouble. So if you are from Pakistan and if you give your home address of Pakistan or Lebanon or Yemen, you will have double discount. Number one, you will not be charged VAT 15%. Number two, the country-based discount as well. So that was some few tips for you. Any other question on this part so far I have explained? Okay, total 180 questions, objective questions, no subjective question. Total time is 230 minutes, and the exam will be in three parts. Three parts means set one, set two, set 3, each set will be of 60 questions each. But that will not be distributed according to the topics, right? It is not like I mentioned, people, process, and business. No. So first 60 questions, then 60 questions, then 60 questions. In between each set, you can take a 10 minutes break. And it's your choice that how much time you spend on first 60 questions, then how much time you spend on next set, and how much time you spend on third set. And after you come back from the break, you cannot see the previous set. Within that session, whatever set you are working on, you can go forward to next question, previous question, you can modify the answers, whatever you like. But once you close that session or set of 60 questions, you can take a break. After that, when you start the next set, now you cannot go back to the previous set of questions. Is this point clear to everyone? Any question, confusion?
Yes, clear.
There is no negative marking. Out of 180 questions, 5 questions have zero weightage. Zero weightage means they do not matter in your final score. Regardless of your answer, right or wrong, or you leave it blank, they will not consider it. But there is no indication that which 5 questions. So you will have to respect all the questions equally. Means you cannot decide to ignore these questions because you will not have any way to find which questions are out of these 5. Roughly 60 to 75% passing mark. That point I have already explained to you. Any point anyone wants to ask up till this point that I have explained? Yes, please, you want to ask something?
Yes, you are mentioning here of the 180 question, 5 are considered product question and are not question. Can you explain the more? What about this concern?
See, out of 180 questions, 5 questions, they keep on introducing new questions,
Okay.
right? So they first try it. On the basis of response, then they decide to keep it in the future exams or they decide to remove it. So in the beginning, they do not consider any score of that. So they just try, see the statistical data for that. That's it, analysis. So, but you will not have any hint that is this a question, pre-test question or regular question. So that is why you will give your best answer in any case. Is it clear? Any other question?
Example, I have one question. I have a doubt in the sum of the question, like question number 5. I have the doubt. I will skip. I will answer on later.
Yeah, I will explain that point. I'm coming to that point.
Okay.
The exam software,
So,
yes, Khalid.
sir, so for pre-test questions, suppose if we make it wrong, we'll not get the negative marking. But if we do it right, we will also not get positive marks.
Yes,
Okay.
zero weightage.
Zero weightage. Okay.
The exam software will look like this. It will have two screens. This is screen number 1. This is screen number 2. So each question will come, and remember that 3 sets of the questions. Each question will come one by one with the statement, with the options, typically 4 options. There will be a next button. There will be a previous button. There will be a total remaining time. There will be a calculator button. If you feel some calculations are required, you are not allowed to take your calculator with you. It will be available in the software. You will not be allowed to take any blank paper with you for the rough work. They will provide you. Plus, there is a button to flag the question. For example, you are on question number 14. So question number 14, you selected an option 3, and you went to next. But you have a doubt that maybe option 3 is right or wrong. Maybe if I have enough time, I want to consider it again. So you can flag it. So when you flag it, later on, you can see that I have flagged question number 14, and you will click it directly to go back to details of that question. So this screen number 1 is detail screen. Screen number 2 is the summary screen. It's a dashboard. So you can flag the question, Plus, if you have left any question as blank, unanswered, that will also be highlighted. So whenever you click on review screen, that will take you to the screen number 2, the summary screen or the dashboard. So once you come to summary screen, you can see which questions you have left blank or unanswered. You can go back to those, or you can review all, or you can review incomplete, or you can review the flagged only. And whenever you click on the end review, if it is last section, last set, it will be the end of your exam and you will be displayed your final result. Any question or confusion?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so if I want to bring my own calculator, can I bring that as well if I don't
No,
want to use the calculator provided?
no.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any other question?
Just a quick one, if I can ask.
Yeah.
So for each set, we have only one opportunity for review, exam review for each set.
No, within that time, you can review it 10 times, no problem. But when you decide, let's say your exam started at 10 a.m., right? You have time up till how much? 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., including the 2 breaks, right? 10 minutes break. So it becomes 230 minutes. Now it's up to you that first set of 60 questions, maybe you did in 90 minutes. So between 10 a.m. up till 11:30, you are on set number 1. So within these 90 minutes, you can go to this summary screen 10 times. It's your choice. Is this what you were asking, Bilal?
Yes, that's right. So it means that once you move to section number 2, then it is not possible
Now
to
you
review the
cannot
answer
go
for.
back to set number 1.
Okay, perfect. Makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, confusion? Okay, this is the pricing of the exam. As I already mentioned, that there can be some discounts on the basis of country or the home address. So generally, the standard one, the exam fee is 405 US dollars if you are a member of PMI. And how to become member? There is no prerequisite, only annual fee 139 US dollars. That's it. Anyone, regardless of his education, experience, anyone can become member anytime you like. So if you are a PMI member, you have discounted fee of 405 US dollars. If you are not a member, still you can apply for the exam, but the exam fee will be 655 US dollars. But this is only for the first attempt. In case in the 12 months period you could not pass in the first attempt, you can apply for the second attempt or the third attempt. You can give exam up to 3 times. The second attempt will cost you 275 US dollars if you are a member, and 375 if you are not a member. Second and third attempts price is same. Any question or confusion?
Yeah, quick question. Like, do you recommend to become a member first and then apply for the exam? That case, you can save like around $100.
Definitely yes, and you can do it at the same time also.
Awesome.
Means
Thank you.
in future, after the training, whenever you are completing your application process, They review it, there's an audit, no audit, they complete the process, they send you an approval that yes, now your application is approved, please pay your exam fee. At that stage, even you can decide to take the membership. So in the same sitting, you can take both. You're welcome. Any other question, please?
Are there any other advantages of being a member other than this, discount?
Yeah, I will come to that in the next slide. There are a few more benefits. Networking is the main thing. Any other question on this slide, please? These are the benefits of taking the membership. First of all, there is a discount on that. So there is a saving on that. You get access to PMI library and you can download the official released documents by PMI. Plus, the biggest benefit is you become part of a worldwide community. It is good for networking. In every major city, there are gatherings, there are seminars, there are breakfast, dinners in Dammam, in Jeddah, in Uber, in Dubai. There are PMI chapters, even in Lahore, in Karachi. Every major city, there are PMI chapters. And they do local gatherings, which gives you a chance to make connections in the industry. And you know much more than me how valuable these connections are. Plus, you can review the PMI conducted salary surveys also, that how much benefit is it gives you to do the PMP certification. Generally, a very high level number difference. People who are PMP certified, they get roughly 16% higher. Same title, same experience, same industry. Generally, there is a 16% higher difference in the average annual income. Salaries, I mean. Income, of course, it's a different concept. So these are few benefits of taking the membership, but another saving tip for you, as the membership is annual basis, right? So when you make your profile, there is a checkbox. By default, it is selected auto renew. So I suggest if you are planning to give PMP, for sure you shall take the PMI membership, but uncheck this. It is not mandatory for you to continue the membership even every year. In the first year, you took the major benefits of saving. If you like, continue taking that. There is no harm in that. But if you want to save money, no problem. Uncheck this. Otherwise, they will keep deducting you. Every year you will receive a surprise SMS that your credit card was charged or debit card was charged by this much amount, $139 plus VAT. Remember, plus VAT, right? But if you are, your home country is not having VAT or GST, like in India, I think there's 16% GST. So if you give Saudi address, you will be charged 15% tax. If you give Indian address, you will be charged 16% tax. So only those countries which are not charging tax, then it is a saving for you. Any question or confusion, please?
Right. I have a question regarding the fee payment.
Yeah.
Just now you have mentioned if you want to save, uh, I'm also from Pakistan. For instance, I'm going to give my home address of Pakistan, but right now I'm in Bahrain, for instance. So which card should I use? It should be a Pakistani
Card
bank
doesn't matter.
account
Card
or
doesn't
card
matter.
doesn't matter.
Only
Okay.
your home address.
Right.
That's it. Right?
Okay.
Yes. Any other question, confusion? Okay. PMP has a validity of 3 years, right? Maybe some people may not like it, but it's kind of a enforced learning for you, and you know why you learn, so that you can increase your earning, right? And especially at this stage, when you are busy in your jobs also. You are busy with your families also. You are taking out time. You are doing certification, PMP. Why? Inshallah, to have more income. So when you come in the loop of learning, then they impose more learning on you, which you may not like it, but ultimately it will open more opportunities for you. It will increase more revenue streams for you, inshallah. So PMP is valid for 3 years, but the good thing is it is renewable after 3 years without exam. How? If you keep on getting more trainings. PDUs means professional development units. So if you keep on getting more trainings in next 3 years and the total duration is of more than 60 hours, you will be extended. Your PMP will be extended for another 3 years. And it's not, once again, it's not necessary that you get the training from me. You can take training from anyone else. Or I am also giving more trainings other than PMP. For example, I'm giving Primavera P6, 20 PDUs. I am giving training on Microsoft project, 20 PDUs. I am giving training of RMP, 40 PDUs. I am giving training of ACP, 23 PDUs. So in the future, if you want, attend more trainings from me, attend more trainings from any other institute. If you have 60 hours and there is no distribution that it must be in the first year or the last year, it could be any split in the next 36 months. Even you can take all the 60 hours trainings in the last year or the first year. At the end of third year, if you have 60 PDUs, your certification will be extended for another 3 years, but with a small fee that is roughly 150 US dollars if you are not a member, and 60 US dollars if you are a member. But in case, let's say after 3 years, you do not have 60 PDUs, you have 59 PDUs, you have 30 PDUs, you have 0 PDUs. In all cases, same behavior, same way they will treat you. They will suspend your certification at the end of third year, and they will give you 1 year as a grace period. In the fourth year, if you collect the missing PDUs, you your certification will be reverted back to the normal state. But in case that fourth year is also gone, still you do not have 60 PDUs. Now that is termination of your certification. Now in future, whenever you need it in life again, you have to appear in the exam again. Any question or confusion from anyone?
Yeah, just a quick question. Like in Prince 2, they actually charge you a fee to renew your certificate after 3 years. They don't require you to have any PDUs. Like, but for PMP, you need to have a training for another certificate within 4 years, around like 60 PDUs to extend or renew your certificate of PMP.
Yeah, plus fee also.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Right. Any other question?
So PDU cannot be, achieved without appearing another exam.
No, no, no. These PDUs are only training attendance. It's not exam. You
But some other
just
exam.
participated, you just participated in the trainings. Additionally, if you, for example, if you attend Primavera P6, there is no exam of that. Only attendance, only practice, only knowledge. Microsoft project, there is no exam of that. RMP, there is training also, exam also, but it's your choice. You want to give the exam? Fine. If you do not want to give the exam, only attend the training. That is also fine for the extension of PMP. For the extension of PMP, exam is not required, only training is required. But if you want to apply for RMP, then this same certificate will be double counted. Number one, in the extension of PMP, it will contribute 40 hours. Number two, as a prerequisite of RMP exam, just like for the PMP exam, the prerequisite is 35 hours. For RMP exam, there is a prerequisite of 40 hours or 30 hours, depending upon your degree. So it can be double counted. I hope it is clear. Any confusion still? If it is there, please
Yeah,
feel free
that
to ask.
after getting the PMP certification, we can do the next week or next day, and it will be counted for
After the
the
exam,
renewal.
next day, you can take the training, start taking the training. There's no, but of course, you cannot say I attended it on in one day and my certificate is of 40 PDUs. Each PDU means roughly 1 hour, right? And one full day training is roughly 7 hours. So it should be having appropriate dates.
Okay, got it.
So can we do PMP again within these 3 years and refresh it?
PMP training again, yes.
Again, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many students, they do that. They sleep after the PMP exam. Just 1 week before the renewal, they wake up and they contact me, sir, what I can do? I say, okay, this training is available. Your choice. You can take. If you want live, my PMP is coming. If you want recorded, many other options are available. So sometimes they attend PMP again, also just as a refresher plus 35 PDUs to renew the exam, renew the PMP title. It's possible. Any other question, confusion?
Sir, there are only specific certifications or trainings that we can that are considered for the professional development units. For example,
On
I take the ISO 9000 training. Would it be
yes,
considered?
yes, that will also be considered. Six
Okay,
Sigma
thank
will
you.
also be considered. Right? Welcome.
Thank
Any
you.
other question, please? Even if you deliver a training, but after the exam, for example, after doing PMP, you say, I have delivered a training. So that will be a PDU for you also. Like I am giving the training to you, like these 3 hours. You are attending these 3 hours, these are three PDUs for you also. I am delivering these 3 hours, these are three PDUs for me also. So after you do PMP and you say that I have delivered a training, that is also acceptable. Right? So there are many options available, but the easiest is attending the trainings. Any other question, confusion before I move forward?
Yes, okay.
Okay, now some sample questions. Try to answer these. So I will just read the statement. You read the options and try to guess the or suggest the right answer. Which of the following is not true of obtaining project plan approval? So sometimes in the exams, they give you four options and they tell you three options are true, one is false. Please tell us which one is the false. So can you go through these four options and tell me what is the right answer? Approximately in 15 to 20 minutes, we will take a short break.
C.
Option C, sir.
Option C, I think.
Yes, option C, maximum.
Okay, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of option A? Until you obtain plan approval, you do not need to put changes to it to change control. Can anyone explain me the meaning of that?
It means if it is in planning phase, there will be no requirement for the change control. Change control is after, the plan is approved.
Anyone else?
So
To
you say
reflect
this
the
is
change, you need an approval actually to go through the evaluation process by technical or whatsoever. Once it is approved, then only you can change, like drawing.
until you obtain plan approval. That means before this point, before taking the plan approval. And when we take the plan approval, please keep your mics to mute mode unless until you have to ask some question. So when you take the plan approval, after the plan approval plan is called as what? Very famous term. Can you tell me what is the famous term used for the approved plan?
Charter? Project charter?
No,
Proposal?
no. Very famous term.
business case.
Not at all. Baseline plan. Approved plan is called as the baseline plan. So before baselining the plan, you do not need to put changes to it. Means in the plan, if you want to make any changes, you do not need to pass it through a change control. That means you can make any change without approval before it is baselined. After it is baselined, if you have to change, you have to pass it through a change control procedure. So what do you think? Is this option true or false?
Yeah, I
True, I
I
think
think
option
this
A. Yeah.
this is false. This is false, I think.
All of you agree with this? Come, think again. I'm explaining again. I think you are confused. I am working on a plan with my team. We are drafting a plan. Before we present it to the customer, when I said draft a plan, draft means it can be changed anytime I like. Every day we are sitting, we are thinking, we are giving suggestions, we are modifying it, we are drafting it, we are refining it, we are improving it. But once we present it to the customer or top management, there is discussion on that, revisions on that. After they give the approval, now it is no more a draft. After baselining, if any change is to be done, which will disturb the deadlines, I have to raise a change request. So before the baseline, I can make a change without a change request. After the baseline, I cannot make a change without a change request. This is the meaning of option A. So what do you think? Is it true or false?
True, true. It is false.
It is false, of course. It is false.
Why?
true.
I explained it multiple times. In the draft stage, we can make changes whenever we like. It's true. After that, we have to raise a change request to make any change. Second option, change control makes sure that only approved changes can make it into the approved plan. That is just an extension of the first line. Same concept. It is also true. Question is asking about not true. So A cannot be an answer. B cannot be an answer. Only one person needs to approve the project management plan, and that is the project manager. This is false.
False. Yes.
Yes.
D, it is important for the entire team to buy into. Buy into means what?
Look into.
They have to agree upon.
Agreement, consensus, participation, ownership. So if you impose a plan on the team versus the team has a feeling that we made this plan, where the chances are higher that the project will be successful, where the team has a feeling of ownership, buy into. So this is also true. So C is the right answer. Any question, confusion?
Yes.
I'm just giving you a feeling of the real questions, exams only, that this is how they ask you the questions.
That is good for us. Feel little confident on the exam for the upcoming.
Yeah, inshallah, inshallah. Okay, another very important question. See, I'm just giving you introduction also, but using this opportunity as you are spending time, I'm spending time. So I want to get a feeling that yes, you gained something from the session. Even if you do not decide to do PMP, but still, inshallah, you will learn something good, valuable for you. Okay, another very important concept. Let's say we have to construct a wall in 10 days and 1000 real is the budget. At the end of fourth day, we have completed 20% and we have spent 300 reals. Assuming linear planning, linear means equally distributed across the time. What can we report about the project out of these four options?
Option B.
Option D,
Option D.
behind schedule, overspending.
Yep, yes.
No, in 4 days we'll be spending 400 real as per plan. So it's less than the 400. So it says saving money and behind schedule.
Total duration is 10 days. Right? Please keep your mics to mute mode. Total duration is 10 days. 40% duration has passed when we are evaluating. In 40% time, how much work completed? 20%. And how much budget was spent?
30%.
30%. Now, in 40% time, we have completed 20% work. So time-wise, we are going good or bad?
Bad, behind schedule.
Bad. All of you agree with this? Anyone confused about this?
Agree.
So on the basis of that, which options we can easily say this cannot be an answer?
C and D.
B and D.
A and C,
A and
ahead of
C.
schedule.
Yeah.
Ahead of schedule, we agreed it is not applicable in this. So just on the basis of that, we ruled out A and C. Now,
Behind schedule.
in 40% time, we have spent 30% budget. But at the same time, on 20% work, we have spent 30% of the budget. If you look at this comparison, it looks like saving. If you look at this option, it looks like overspending. So what do you think? Which one is more logical comparison?
O- Overspending.
But since this was linear planning, we will compare it with the baseline for with the plan. So
Still, concept will not change. Linear, non-linear doesn't change anything. So remember, whenever we are comparing the spending or budget performance, we should always compare it against the accomplishment, not against the time passed.
Yeah.
Savings.
If you spend 1000 reals in 10 days and you have 0% progress, can you say we are on budget? No. So this is the wrong comparison. D is the right answer. Very important
Yeah,
learning
just
for all of you.
just to add on, saving was only possible, for example, if you had done 40% completion with the same amount of money spent, 300, then we can say saving.
Yes. When the accomplishment was more than the intended spending, right? For example, we say 40% work is done and 30% budget is spent on that, then it is saving. One more important concept, question and concept. You are a PM of a railroad construction project. Your sponsor has asked you for a forecast. Important term. Can you tell me what is the difference between forecast and plan? Anyone? And I am referring to only cost. Cost related forecast versus cost related plan. Can anyone tell me the difference?
Forecasts are basically on the historical numbers, means you have some historical reference data, and based on that, you can forecast. The plan is something which is lacking in data support.
Anyone else?
I think forecast is the current progress against the plan.
Okay, anyone else wants to add anything?
Forecast is basically a idea and perception about the project cost, and the plan is the well calculated through the multiple processes, and then we evaluate, and it calls the planned cost.
Can you tell me in the same cost question that we just discussed before this, how much is the cost related plan in this project that we just discussed?
100 reals is the planned cost.
Anyone else? 100 real, do you agree or disagree? Anyone to disagree? Is this the cost related plan?
So 1,000, sorry.
1,000, yeah.
1000. So 1000 is the cost related plan and it is also called as the project budget. In this same question, same status, same situation, can you tell me the cost related forecast number? How much?
1,050 reals.
1,200.
1200. Someone said 1050.
Yep. Yeah.
Any other answer? Think again. Still waiting for the right answer.
300 multiplied.
800.
1,500.
800, 1500. How 1500? Can you explain?
So 20% of the work is done with 300 real. So you just multiply it by 5. Then 300 multiplied by 5 means 1,500 reals.
Right. So if 1/5 of the project we have done in 300, so 5 times of that we will be, looks like. Looks like on the basis of so far good or bad performance, so far overspending, if it continues in the same way, this project will cost us 1500 instead of 1000. So 1500 is the cost related forecast. So this is the difference between plan and the forecast. So the sponsor is asking you the forecast and the project has a total budget of 80,000 and CPI, another very important term. And if I say this is the maybe the most important KPI. What is meant by KPI?
Key performance indicator.
Performance index.
Key performance indicator. So this is maybe the most important KPI of the project and CPI is cost performance index. CPI means spending efficiency. That how efficiently you are spending your budget. If I say spending efficiency 0.95, so what do you think? In your opinion, 0.95, is it saving or overspending?
Overspending.
Overspending if because it is less than 1.
So CPI is calculated in this way that, for example, or let me put it in this way, that when I will have a CPI of 0.95, so let's say this pen, stylus pen, right? This pen, in the plan, I budgeted it for 95 reals. In the plan, I budgeted that in the execution, I will go to the market and I will bring this stylus pen in 95 reals. But when the project started and in the execution on that day, when I went to the market, I purchased the same pen stylus in 100 reals instead of 95 reals. So my CPI will become 0.95 for this item. This is the meaning of spending efficiency. So if I have CPI of 1, that means we are going as per budget. If I have CPI of less than 1, that means I am overspending. If it is greater than 1, it means saving. So the project has 0.95, so that means not a very bad situation. The project has spent $25,000 so far. So how much more money is required? So it must be less than the budget itself. So A is automatically the right answer. Quickly we can reach to that. Although there is a formula, we'll discuss in detail later on, but this is how quickly sometimes you can reach to the right answer. Last question before the break, then we will take a break. We'll take a short break. If we have 9 activities A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, their durations are given. Their predecessors are given. Predecessors means dependencies, prerequisites. A has no predecessor, B has no predecessor, C can be started only when A is finished, D can be started only when A is finished. So if this is the situation, how we can calculate the total project duration? So let me tell you the answer. We make a network diagram, we find out all the paths in that, and then whatever is the longest path, that is considered as the critical path, and the duration of the critical path is considered as the project duration. So 26 days is the right answer. So after the break, we have some more important topics related to the concepts, right? Up till now, the certification related things I just explained to you. But after the break, I will tell you what are the course contents, and just like I gave you some concepts during these questions also, I will give you many more concepts in that after the break session also, inshallah. You can stay connected on the same Zoom link. After 10 minutes, inshallah, we will resume.
Can I have a quick question regarding this particular question, if you don't mind?
After the break. After the break, you
Okay.
can. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm back now. Yes, Bilal, you were asking some question?
Yes, my question was regarding this. Um, the kind of question. For instance, how many questions do we have on average related to this structure? Because in my understanding, this question will take more than 70, 80 seconds. On average, we have around 1.5 minute, right? 90 seconds, I guess. So this will
Yeah,
take
but
more time. How many
um,
questions do we have
but
like
there
this?
will be many other questions that will balance it, right? So there might be many questions that you may answer in 30 seconds, maybe.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, the question
So,
like before,
so
one
no
before.
problem. Very rarely you can afford to spend 2 minutes on a question. That's fine. Right? And someone
Okay,
asked
thank
in
you.
the chat also that recording of this session. Yes, the recording will be available. Maybe I mentioned in the invitation also. So maybe tomorrow you can send me a message on WhatsApp. My number is written on every slide. You can see right now in the bottom of the slide also. So you can send me a message to request for the recording. I will upload it tonight or tomorrow, inshallah. And tomorrow I will share the recording and the slides of this presentation also. Okay, now I do not need to convince you about the importance of PMP, but still some people ask that what is the benefit of doing PMP? So number one, as I told you already, roughly 16% higher salary. Plus, sometimes it is mandatory or sometimes helpful in the promotions in the same company. Many students come to me and they say our company has made it mandatory for us to do PMP or any certification in this year in order to go apply for the promotion. Much higher chances of getting shortlisted when applying for the jobs, and you become familiar with the project management terminology. You confidently use the correct same terminology wherever you are sitting in the teams. It's not that sometimes you are using one term, sometimes you are using another term in the wrong way. So terminology is important. You become confident while participating in the meetings and the interviews. It's very, very, very helpful. Many times, it has happened that even after the first or second lecture, some students said that we wish that we had attended this training 1 month ago, 2 months ago, because we were giving an interview and the person was asking the same question and we were giving wrong answers. But now we understand why we were wrong. So, very helpful in that manner also. You start planning and managing the aspects of the projects earlier which you were not aware or not giving importance to. It's good for networking and connections, of course, good for knowing effective solutions for your typical project problems. So there are many benefits of doing PMP, inshallah. Now the course contents. What you are going to cover in the training, what the exam is going to ask. So overall, roughly, if we say the total topics, there are 11 topics. Out of these 11 topics, 10 topics are 10 chapters, which are called as 10 knowledge areas of project management. Scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality management, resource management, communication management, risk management, procurement management, stakeholder management, and integration management. And 11th topic is agile. So, as I told you, 50% of the questions will come from traditional or waterfall methods. 50% of the questions they will ask you from agile methods. You need to ask something?
Like there is any percentage the questions are coming this kind of the percentage in the derivation or this kind of the percentage in the like there is any percentage.
Within these 10 topics, there is no percentage.
Mhm.
It's not like 10% questions from the scope, 3% from quality, not like that. No such percentage. Only 50% of the questions will be from waterfall, 50% of the questions will be from agile, 8% questions will come from business, 42% from the people, 50% from the process.
Okay.
Now, if you say 8%, no, 42% of the people, so people are coming in the procurement also, vendors. People are coming in stakeholder also. People are coming in the resources also. Right? So these all things are interrelated.
Okay, which is the questions are easily identify? We can answer the first one. Which is the questions are like a derivation? We can made it as a flag, so we can utilize the last of the moment. It is saving the time. What do you suggest?
Yeah, it's helpful if you just focus on easy pickings in the beginning. It gives you a confidence,
Hmm.
right? So, for example, after 15 minutes, you have a feeling that I have answered 5 questions. I'm sure I'm right. So it gives you a
Hmm.
good feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus in the first 15 minutes, you are trying to answer every question and you have spent already 15 minutes and you are on question number 5 and you have a feeling that for sure I have answered at least 2 wrong answers. So
Hmm.
there's a big. So in the first go, try to answer easy questions or on which you are confident.
Hmm.
In round two, start going for the medium, and it also happens that when you are doing the easier questions, the statements of the easier questions give you hints about
Yeah.
other questions,
Hmm.
right? So your brain machine starts working at a faster speed. So yes, in the
Yeah.
iterations you can do.
Okay. As per your experience, can you suggest maybe the derivation related question? So out of the 180, this kind of the question is coming like a derivation
No
letter. Can
percent,
you?
no percentage.
Ah, okay.
Be ready for everything. Some people
Hmm.
may get very short questions, some people may get very long questions. So it's purely luck.
Okay.
Right? But be ready for every
Okay.
type of questions. Okay, so I will give you some introduction about these 11 topics. So first of all, whenever you are doing a project, you have to manage the scope. When you say scope, some people use term scope sometimes. Sometimes they use a term requirement. Can you tell me what is the difference between these two terms if they are not same? Requirement and scope, what is the difference?
So for scope, that should be what is included and what is not. And for requirement, this is like what you have to do it within the project.
Okay, anyone else?
For scope, you can say that those are the boundaries of the project, and the requirement are the prerequisites or the client requirements.
like specifications, standards, codes.
Problem and solution. If you have to map these, so what do you think? Problem is mapped on scope or problem is mapped on requirement? What do you think?
Map on scope.
Requirement.
I think on scope.
Scope is solution or requirement is solution?
Solution
Uh,
is a requirement.
Requirement.
Requirement is problem. What we are facing, why we are doing this project, what we want to solve, right? My requirement is I want to improve the productivity of my team. I want to reduce the error rate in my production. I want to increase the production of my company. And solution is the deliverable. Right? For example, you go to some pharmacy and you tell the person, salesman, that I'm having a headache and fever, give me something. So I'm explaining my requirements. He says, take this Panadol and sleep for some time. So he is offering me the solution. So problem is requirement. When the customer is giving the requirements, that means he's explaining the problems he is facing, his expectations, his needs. So when we say requirement, do not mix it with the resource requirements. Resource requirement is a separate topic. So requirement is why we are doing this project. And scope is what we will deliver in order to address these requirements. Sometimes customer will tell you the requirements. As I told you, I'm having headache and fever. You are telling, you are a customer, you are telling the requirements. Sometimes on the basis of past experience, the customer will directly tell, give me Panadol. Why? Because he knows what is the solution of his requirements. So similarly, in the project world, customers may give you requirements in the RFP, or sometimes they may give you scope in the RFP, bid documents, tender documents. So in the scope management, so now I'm going to little more detail. In scope management, some terms I will explain, not all. We collect the requirements. Requirements means the problems, the purpose. We define the scope, solution, deliverables, boundaries. We create WBS. What is meant by WBS?
Work breakdown structure.
What is the purpose of WBS?
To make sure every like deliverables is being identified and being on work within the team. So we make like small crunches of those works to make sure they are being done at the right time.
Anyone else? What is the purpose of WBS?
To make activities easy to manage in later stage.
But in WBS, we do not have activities.
Okay.
Activities
To break
come
down the
below
activities in
the
smaller
WBS.
and measurable.
Right. It's hierarchical decomposition that we decompose the scope of the project into
Planning
smaller
part.
manageable pieces. For example, we say project management. It's a huge subject. We distribute it in 10 pieces. Please keep your mics to mute mode. So here we said project management includes scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality management. So like this 10 chapters. So we made these 10 chapters so that we can focus, discuss, understand one by one. And scope management itself is a big chapter. We said, okay, let's make more pieces, 6 more pieces, and try to understand, focus, manage each piece separately. So this is the purpose of WBS. We decompose so that we can simplify the project. Now, scope management focuses on what? I'm not asking you what. It is the answer in itself. That scope management focuses on what will be produced at the completion of the project. Produced means delivered. What will be delivered? So when we define or write or document the details of the what, that is scope. Is this point clear to everyone? Any confusion from anyone? Schedule management focuses on how. Same thing that we defined in scope management, that what will be delivered, what will be produced is further detailed under scope management, how it will be produced. So when we say how it will be produced, we define activities. Now one confusion may come in your minds, or I know it exists in your mind even if you are not aware. What is the difference between activities and tasks? Yes, there are many people who mentioned we are doing masters in project management. Yes, please. Anyone can answer. What is the difference between activities and tasks? Anyone?
So, for the task, I would say it's a specific unit of work within an activity. So, activity is like you can say it has got an upper hand. There are like so many tasks involved within one activity.
Anyone else? Difference between tasks and activities?
Activities as a regularly in the daily basis, which is I doing as a task, maybe they specified as a new things.
I can help with example. For instance, activity is an exercise is an activity. So what are the tasks? How I'm going to execute that exercise? What kind of tools and equipment I'm going to use? So those will be tasks.
Anyone in this session has used Microsoft Project? Anyone?
Yes.
Mujtaba, you have used?
Yes.
In Microsoft Project, do you or can you define activities? Yes or no?
Yeah, you can define an activity.
Sure.
Like for the task, I guess, like you can do it, but not for the activity then. Like it
Yes.
has got an end, it has got a start and an end
Right.
in the
Tell
activity.
me, do you have a screen in Microsoft Project to define tasks? Yes or no?
Let me see. I've done that project like in back in 2017.
Okay. In Microsoft Project, you define tasks only, no activities. In Primavera P6, you define activities, no tasks. So actually there is no difference. Both are same. Activities and tasks are same. It's only a terminology difference. Microsoft Project or some people, some industries, they use terms tasks. Primavera P6, they use term activities. In PMP exam, both terms can be used, but they both mean exactly the same things. So here when I say define activities, that means define activities or tasks. We then sequence activities. When we say sequence activities means arranging the activities in relationships. How many types of relationships are there? 4 types. Can you tell me 4 types? Very easy. I already gave you the hint.
Finish to start, start to finish, and start to start and finish to finish.
Right. Finish to start, start to start, start to finish, and finish to finish. Then we estimate activity duration. Then we apply critical path method to find out the total project duration. So this is what we do in schedule management. Right. So scope management, schedule management. Remember, right now we are spending only few minutes on these topics. In the full course, we will be spending few hours on each topic. Topics are same, 11 chapters, 11 topics, right? Cost management. In cost management, we plan that how much we are going to spend on each activity. So the activities costing is done on the basis of resource estimation. Can you tell me how many types of resources are there? Anyone? सो गए यार सारे, किधर हो?
Like man, machine, material.
Man, machine, material, 3 types. Each type has some per unit rate. Per hour rate, per day rate, per month rate, per gallon, per cubic meter, per ton, per kg. And each activity has resource requirements. Each activity has duration. So it becomes a multiplication only. So we multiply and we estimate the activity of each cost. Then we roll up the cost of all the activities and it becomes the project cost. So let's say we have a project cost of $10 million and the total duration is 12 months. Can we say each month we need equal parts? Yes or no?
No.
No. Maybe in the beginning we are doing only the planning, paperwork only, meetings only. After 3 months, maybe we have to do heavy purchasing. So this projection, this planning, this split of how much we are going to spend month by month or week by week, this is called as cash flow. And so many other things we do in cost management. Quality management. What is quality? Meeting or exceeding the customer's expectations. Now here, two major terms, QA and QC, quality assurance and quality control. Can you tell me the difference between these two? Anyone? QA and QC, what is the difference?
Assurance may be, I think, these measures to prevent the issues coming in, and quality control is, continuously monitoring.
Right.
Procedure part is QA part, and control at site is a control site, like activity control.
Very easy example to understand. Let's say you have to purchase any electronics item. You go to any shop, any shopping mall, and you are checking different items, different products from different companies. Have you noticed a small sticker on each box which says something like this: QC passed, QC checked? Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Multiple times.
Have you ever seen any box on which they have written QC failed? Yes or no?
No.
No. But that does not mean that that company, whatever they are producing, is passing QC also. There must be some items which have failed QC. Where are those items?
They have to discard.
They have to discard or fix
Yeah.
till it passes QC. Right? In other words, at least they make sure that it does not reach to the shops. It does not reach to the customer. So main purpose of QC is what then? QC is to find or catch the defects in deliverables. Agreed? Everyone? Any confusion?
Yeah, clear.
Now, what
Yeah.
is QA?
I think QA is to make
Zero
sure that
quality
do not
assurance.
reach to the customer.
Zero defective.
QA is to
Avoid the defects.
avoid or minimize.
Mhm.
Is it the benchmark against which we monitor?
That is one way to do that. Right now, we are discussing what is QA or QC. How to do that? Benchmarking is one way. Okay, is to avoid or minimize the defects in the deliverables. So which one is proactive and which one is reactive?
QA.
QA is proactive.
QA is proactive.
Yes.
Proactive means do something before
It happens.
to influence the consequences or the end results. So when we say avoid the defects, minimize the defects. So that is why many people say QA is about procedures. So what is the meaning of that? That improve or enhance your procedures in such a way that whatever we are producing is nice enough, good enough. That is why we say QA is a procedure, but actually this is not right grammar. QA is also procedure. QC is also procedure. But yes, in what sense they use this term? That focus of QA is to improve the procedures, which will ultimately produce the product. So this is the difference between QA and QC. You want to ask something, Rasul?
Yes, yes, sir. This is what you say. QC is a part of finding the counterfeit materials, uh,
Finding
find the
the in
counterfeit
see
material.
QA purpose is to make sure we will discuss it in detail later on, but sometimes even you are checking the ingredients to
Yes.
make sure that the end result will be good enough. So in that context, checking the ingredients is a kind of a QA activity, but we will discuss it in detail later on in that chapter itself, inshallah. Right? Resource management, there are three types of resources: manpower, machine, and material. So somewhere you see term resource, somewhere you see term activity, team. So whenever we use term resource, that means all three types: manpower, machine, and material. But whenever you see term team, that means only manpower. So there are some processes which are performed for all three types: estimation, acquiring. But develop team is only for the manpower. Manage team is only for the manpower. Conflict management, training, motivation, demotivation, appraisals. These things are only performed for the manpower. What is meant by appraisal? Can anyone tell?
Evaluation
Evaluation of the performance.
And what is the purpose of appraisal?
to assess the
Like
progress.
to take countermeasure actions for like your work you have been doing.
To identify the strengths or weaknesses in an individual so that you can work on that through training, qualification, this and that. So some companies have appraisals, 360-degree appraisal. That means all the angles are considered. Even an employee, a team member can give feedback about his boss. So some companies have this process also. Communication management. Communication means information sharing. Who will share the information? Stakeholders. So maybe another 20 minutes we will be done, inshallah. Then I will keep it open only for the individual questions. You can stay, but if you want to leave after I finish, you can leave anytime. So hopefully within 20 minutes, inshallah, we will finish. Communication means information sharing. Information among Stakeholders. Who is a stakeholder? Anyone who can positively or negatively impact the project or get impacted by the project. He is the stakeholder. Right? So different stakeholders need different information. In different information means how much it is done, when it will be done, how much was spent, when it will be finished, how many injuries, how many defects. So different stakeholders need different information in a different frequency, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, in different format. Some people say just send me a WhatsApp message. Some people say just give me a written signed stamped report. So different information, different frequency, different format comes under communication management and risk management. There are two famous terms, risks and issues. Issues means those things which have happened already. If I say it is raining right now, it is an issue. There is a power failure, it's an issue. Internet is not working, it's an issue. But if I say, let's say on 7th of Feb, we have to start inshallah full course. On 7th of Feb, we have the first class. If I say there is a chance of heavy rain in my area on 7th of February, and because of the heavy rain, maybe the internet may not, the power failure could be there and internet may not work. And if it happens, we will not be able to conduct the first class. So if I am pointing to some possible or probable scenario yet to happen in the future, this is called as risk. So just for the sake of explaining few terms, is it possible that on 7th of Feb, we may have to cancel the class because of heavy rain, power failure, internet disconnectivity? Is it possible? Yes or no?
Yes.
Possible. So that
Yes.
means it's a risk. Now, what are the chances if I give you 5 options? The chances that it will happen on 7th of Feb, very high chances, medium chances, low chances, or very low chances. Of course, it depends upon which area you are in. I am in Sharjah right now. So what do you think in Sharjah, 7th of Feb, what are the chances that there will be a very heavy rain and because of that we may have to cancel the class? Very high chances or high or medium or low or very low? What do you think?
Very low. Sir, very low.
Depends on
Okay,
the forecast.
very low.
Yeah.
If it happens, assume it will happen. Very low doesn't mean zero. Very low means yes, it is possible. Maybe 5%, 3% chances. Assume it will happen 100%. How big will be the impact on the full project, which is training right now? Again, if I give you 5 options, very high, high, medium, low, very low, what will be your choice here?
Very high.
Very low.
Maybe for some of you very high, some of you very low, depending upon maybe you have some other commitments, and on the next weekend Ramzan is also starting. So that will also going to have an impact. Maybe I have another training, maybe you have a travel plan. So case to case it may vary, but let's go with high. So high impact and very low chances. What we have done, we have done risk assessment in terms of qualitative or quantitative. I already explained you the concept. Have we performed qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis?
Qualitative.
Qualitative. Ranking, classification in terms of very high, high, medium, low, or very low. But if we go in it in this way, that 45% chances that steel prices can go up during the project execution, and if it goes up, there could be an impact of $20,000. Now, what we are doing?
Quantitative
Quantitative
risk analysis.
numerical analysis. So we identify the risk, we perform qualitative analysis, we perform quantitative analysis, we plan risk responses. Like if you see in your offices, there are smoke detectors, there are sprinklers, there are fire alarms. All these are risk responses. That if it happens, how we will handle. So this is the concept of risk management. Then we have procurement management. Procurement management means we. Who are we? Customer. When we involve them means market, vendors, suppliers, contractors, subcontractors, consultants. When we involve them in our project, this is called as procurement. And what are the reasons? First of all, resources. How many types of resources? We said three types: manpower, machine, material. There are two options: rent or buy. Both are procurement. Can we buy material from others? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Can we rent material from others?
Yes. No, no, no.
No. Why?
No.
Material is a consumable thing. So rental of material is not an option. Machine. Can we buy machine from others?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we rent machines from others?
Yes.
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 Yes, both options are available. Manpower. Can we rent manpower from others?
Yes.
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 Can we buy manpower from others?
Yes. No.
No.
I wish we could.
No.
No, this is no. Because buy manpower means slavery system. Even if you have joined a company on full-time basis, this is a rental contract. You will spend 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, then you will come back. Buy means now you are in the possession of the company forever. That was a slavery system. It was there, but not anymore. So these are few reasons why we do the procurement. Now, why we need resources to perform activities or tasks? Why we need to perform activities or tasks to complete the scope? What is the easier alternate? Give the scope to other companies. They will arrange the manpower, machine, material, headache, girgir, all the work on them, and we will only observe how they are performing. So this is also possible to give our scope to other companies. And why we give? Sometimes as a customer, we do not have expertise. Sometimes we have expertise, but we do not have time. Sometimes we have expertise, we have time, but it will be more expensive if we do it. If we give it to someone else, they can produce it in a cheaper price. So these are few reasons why we outsource. This is called as procurement. Stakeholder, as I told you, anyone who can positively or negatively impact the project or get impacted by the project is a stakeholder. So we have to identify, classify, and manage them, treat them accordingly.
Sir, can you give the example for the negative stakeholders, please?
Negative stakeholder, mother-in-law. और कोई example? See, is a technical example. You have to make a shopping mall. On that land, there is a village. You first have to move them to some other place, or in other words, vacate that land and then start construction. Now, the people who are living there happily, they will become negative stakeholders. They will start creating problems for you. They will start resisting, right? Similarly, if you are making a chemical plant, maybe the chemicals waste will start mixing in the water streams and the people around that area will get negatively affected. So these are negative stakeholders. Or not negative stakeholders, stakeholders who are getting impacted negatively. These are innocent guys who are getting impacted negatively. These are not negative themselves, right? Is it okay? Any other question? Okay, integration management means everything is interrelated. Change in one area will impact the others also. If you say scope, let's say the customer says the scope is to make 10-story building in 10 months in 10 million. Okay, during execution, the customer says, please make it 15-story building. Do you think time will remain same? Cost will remain same? No, everything will change. Risks will change, communication, quality, stakeholders, so many things will change. So this is the concept of integration. Change in one area will impact the others also. Whenever we start a project, last few minutes, whenever we start a project, we call it as initiating. Once again, someone asked about the recording. Yes, recording will be available, but you have to request to me tomorrow on this number, right? This is written here on WhatsApp. I will share the recording tomorrow, inshallah, and the slides also. So whenever you start a project, that is called as initiating. After you initiate the project, you start planning. When you start making the plan, drafting the plan with the team, it may take many days, many weeks, many months. After your draft is ready, you present it to the top management or the customer. The top management customer will never approve the first version. They will always give you the feedback. No, no, this is too much. Reduce this, increase this, do that. You will keep on modifying the plan. And when they say, yes, now it is approved, that is called as a baseline plan. When the plan is baselined, you start execution. When you start execution, controlling or monitoring processes, they become active. What is the role of that? That keep checking what should happen and keep checking what is happening. So whatever is happening, is it happening according to the plan or not? If it is happening according to the plan, wonderful. If it is not happening according to the plan, that means there is a difference between plan and the actuals. What is the very famous term used for representing the difference between plan and actual?
Variance.
Variance. Yes, you are right. If there is a variance, what we are supposed to do?
Change request.
We have to see if that variance is very big or very small or big or small, depending upon that,
Evaluate.
right? So maybe if we say this variance is माफी मुश्किल इंशाल्लाह करीम इंशाल्लाह खैर है यार कोई नहीं हो जाता ऐसे right? 6 months, let's say 12 months project. After 6 months, 50% should have been done. 48% is done. 1-2% variance, no problem. Ignore. But if that variance is big enough, and the definition of big varies from project to project. Maybe a delay of 5 days is a huge thing for one company, and a delay of 2 months is nothing for another company. Possible. So this concept is that how much variance is big or small needs replanning. That is a very famous term once again called as threshold. So if variance is more than the threshold limit, we need to replan. So this cycle continues. So replanning is done either because of very bad performance or because of scope addition or reduction. So once we complete the deliverables, we move to closing processes. So that's it from my side, and this is going to be the schedule of the full course. And one change already I mentioned, maybe some of you joined late, that it's all Friday, Saturday, Sunday, other than last week, because on Sunday 23rd, no one will be able to be remain normal because there is a match between Pakistan and India, right? So that's why I have changed it from
Yes,
Sunday. I have changed it to Thursday. I thought to do it on Monday, but even, Pakistan India matches, there are aftershocks also. Whatever is the result. So that's why even Monday I thought it's risky. So let's do it on Thursday. So this is going to be the schedule of the full course. On Friday, Saturday, it will be 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. with, of course, prayer breaks. On Sunday or Thursday, it will be 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's according to KSA time. About the pricing, once again, if you the regular price, as you know, it's 1200 riyals, but if you make me the payment in Pakistani bank, what why there is a difference? Because if you pay in Saudi Arabian bank, I have to pay the VAT on your fee, plus I have to pay to the kafir also. So that saving I'm transferring to you directly, right? So if you directly pay to me in Pakistani bank, you can pay 840 riyals or 960, sorry, 960. I'm not sure it's right or wrong. Anyways, the group, if you make a group of three or more and pay in Pakistani bank, it will become only and only 480 riyals. But if you make a group of five plus, it will become same price. But in addition to that, I will give you free Primavera P6 training as well. So this is going to be the pricing. If there is any question, confusion you want to ask, most welcome. If you I have nothing. You can leave also recording. As I told you, you can send me a message tomorrow. I will share the recording. Thank you very much for attending. If you have any question, most welcome. Just, you can ask questions.
Sir, I want to ask a question from you.
Yes, please.
Sir, will you provide the recorded lectures for upcoming session, for the FAB session?
Yes, but it will not be downloadable. The purpose is that just in case you were busy somewhere else or there is some internet issue, something like that. So for few days, I will upload it. You can watch it online just in case you missed something, and then I will remove it. It will not be downloadable. Any other question, please?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the groups, can you help us making us say this group, because there is a big difference, how we
No.
want to take
See
advantage of, or
what
we
is
have to bring,
what is the purpose
outside.
of making the group
Yeah, so
or
we have
giving the group offer? Promotion. ठीक है
yes,
कि आप जाएंगे 10 बंदों से बात करेंगे ना
yes,
भी
yes,
करेगा तो वो कम से कम मेरा नाम तो पहुंचेगा ना, तो पर्पस ये होता है। ठीक है,
yes,
अगर मैं ही
correct.
ग्रुप बनाने शुरू कर दूं आएंगे तो सारे ग्रुप में ही। ठीक
Yes.
है, तो पर्पस इज टू प्रमोट। यस प्लीज, आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड। यस, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन प्लीज? इफ एनीवन वांट्स टू लीव, नो प्रॉब्लम। एनीवन वांट्स टू स्टे, आस्क क्वेश्चन, गपशप करनी है करें, उर्दू, पंजाबी, इंग्लिश, वट एवर यू लाइक।
सर ये जो फॉर्म फिलअप करना है पीएमपी का, तो
जी जी,
उसके अंदर ये पीडीयूज भी पूछेंगे उसके अंदर कि आपके कितने 60?
डेफिनेटली। नहीं देखें, पीएमपी में तो 35 चाहिए ना, 60 तो
जी
चाहिए आपको 3 साल बाद
जी जी जी।
एग्जाम
तो
के।
वो अभी पीएमपी के लिए जो एप्लीकेशन सबमिट
वो
करता है उसमें
35 चाहिए
35
ना, वो जब
Certificate.
आप हमसे ट्रेनिंग ले लें,
आफ्टर
किसी
क्लास।
और से ले लें, तो वो
नहीं
आपको
वो
सर्टिफिकेट
आपसे
मिल
अगर
जाएगा।
लेंगे, अगर आपसे ही लेंगे तो सर वो आफ्टर जब हमारी पूरी ट्रेनिंग कंप्लीट हो जाएगी फिर हम उसके अंदर मेंशन कर सकते हैं, या उससे पहले ही? अभी
नहीं
तो नहीं
नहीं,
कर सकते ना?
अभी आप सिर्फ एप्लीकेशन ड्राफ्ट करना शुरू कर सकते हैं, जिसका फायदा कोई नहीं है,
ठीक है।
सबमिट तो कर नहीं सकते आप। ठीक है,
ठीक है, तो जब तक क्लास
हाँ,
कंप्लीट नहीं
ट्रेनिंग
हो
के
जाती
बाद
हमारी।
ये प्रोसेस ट्रेनिंग के बाद का है।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है,
हाँ,
थैंक।
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन प्लीज?
Sir, this group 3 plus and 5 plus, can you
या
explain what is actually need to create the group or what?
See, you need to discuss with your friends.
Mhm.
If you register as a group of 3 or 5 and make the single payment, there is a
Mhm.
huge discount on that, 60% discount on that. You understand?
But
And
before we need to.
yeah,
Mhm.
Sir, I have one question.
let me first address that question. So, group wala question, is it clear?
Yeah, Miss, it
Sir,
mean I need to refer some other person to you, correct? Like that?
Yes, you need to discuss in your company, in
Mhm.
your friends,
Mhm.
that there is a training starting. Do you want to register? Maybe what you can do, I have another session on 1st of Feb also. Bring
Mhm.
them in the next seminar. Maybe if they like it, they register with you. So
Mhm.
if you register with your friends or colleagues together, then there is a
Okay.
60% discount.
Maybe already I paid to you. What is like if you are return or if you are make discount, how I don't know.
When you
Example, I
see,
paid as a
when you make the payment of on behalf of others, adjust it in among yourself.
okay,
No
understand.
problem.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Yes, please. Any other question?
सर कंपनी के साथ पेमेंट करने का है तो कर सकता है
जी जी, कर
फॉर
सकते हैं,
ग्रुप
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं। कंपनी के साथ भी कर सकते हैं। कंपनीज बहुत सारी करती हैं मेरे साथ। ठीक है। उस केस में, कंपनी के केस में, कई कंपनीज कहती हैं हम आपको पाकिस्तानी बैंक में पे कर देंगे, दैट इज ऑल्सो एक्सेप्टेबल। कई कहती हैं सऊदी बैंक में करेंगे, दैट इज ऑल्सो एक्सेप्टेबल। वैट इनवॉइस आपको मिल जाएगी। ठीक है। कोटेशन चाहिए होगी, बड़ा ग्रुप है, कोटेशन प्रपोजल भी मिल जाएगा।
ये पेमेंट आफ्टर टेस्ट
जी जी।
पेमेंट इज आफ्टर टेस्ट
नो, पेमेंट ट्रेनिंग की सेपरेट है। ठीक है। मे बी आपने लेट ज्वाइन किया है, टेस्ट की पेमेंट आपने खुद करनी है, वो बाद में करनी है। टेस्ट की पेमेंट आपने मुझे नहीं करनी।
ओके सर
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम एनीवन?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If no other question, can we close the session?
Yes, you can
Okay,
close.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
Salam.
Welcome. Assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.